people as if it's some kind of prison. In other words, some people greet the idea of getting married and with surprise, married? Oh my God. Are you getting married? Oh my God. Some kind of prison. And people today, they started advocating other kinds of relationships. They started giving marriage a rest. And they are advocating all kinds of different setups for relationships. And some people have been proposing that in modern times, since we are living longer now, more than our parents and grandparents, it's impossible, it's unsustainable to live with the same person for 40, 50, 60 years or more. I mean, how can you bear it, right? That's what they say. It's been going on for 23 years, being pretty good so far. We are living at the best time of our marriage. It's not boring. When you do it right, it's not a prison.
No, the thing is, every time you go from a relationship to another, you have to understand that you carry bags from that previous relationship. You carry a bag, you carry a trauma, you carry something that hurts you there. So if you're going to think that every time you're going to have to change your partner every time, imagine how many bags in 40 years. It's hard.
One of the, we talk about Hollywood, one of the most famous proponents of this idea, you have to have now several meaningful relationships over a lifetime. In other words, it's impossible to love and be with the same person forever till death do us part. That's no longer practical, some people are advocating. One of the most famous proponents is, of course, Gwyneth Paltrow, which separated, divorced this year from Chris Martin. And very elegantly called it conscious uncoupling. Conscious uncoupling. Isn't it interesting the way they put elegant names to an ugly thing? Right? She was voted recently the world's most beautiful woman, married to a very successful, I'm not saying he's good looking, but some would say he's a good looking man. But not only Chris Martin, Gwyneth has been, not many people know that she has dated Brad Pitt for 3 years. She has dated Ben Affleck, also for 3 years. And of course, her marriage with Chris Martin lasted 10 years. So, as Chris was saying, imagine the baggage that you begin to carry from each of these relationships. And she's not even 45, I think, yet. Imagine what starts to happen.
I keep thinking it took me 12 years to adapt to this one year.
I was one of the more difficult versions, right? Yes, but you can imagine, people are proposing this, but they are opting for something much harder. They're opting for things that don't really work. Of course, that they make it look like it's painless and even fashionable. But the truth is that a lot of people privately, secretly, still value marriage. A lot of people don't say it publicly, but privately they know, secretly they know, and they want it. They want it if they could only get it. They want it. But publicly, marriage is being bad-mouthed. Just see, you have various examples of that. And just one example of this is how so many jokes are made about marriage. Always to make marriage look like a prison or ridiculous, like a burden. And here's another one for you, just for good measure. Just an example. A woman died, and they arranged a funeral for her. So there she was, her casket, and all her friends and family were there. And when the time came, the pallbearers took the casket, and they were going to the graveyard to bury her. And as they were walking, carrying the casket, accidentally they bumped into a wall. And they heard from inside the casket, "Ouch!" There was a commotion. They put the casket down, opened the casket, and there the woman was, alive. Oh my God. And she lived another 10 years. And then she died. Everybody back at the funeral, their condolences and everything else. And then the time to bury her came, and the pallbearers, this time, take the casket and they go. And as they were approaching the door, the husband in the back of the room shouts, "Mind the door!" He didn't want another minute of her. You see, and why do we laugh about this? Why do we laugh? I mean, it is funny, I know, but I love these jokes. But in reality, it gives marriage a bad name. Once you've heard 5, 10, 12, 100 of these jokes, you begin to believe. Oh my God, marriage? No, I don't want marriage. Marriage is a burden, is a pain. And that's unfortunately how a lot of people tend to believe.